Hello there, it is me, Mr. Number Guy, who is very pumped because something awesome happened around 10 minutes ago. If you guys do not know what happened, skip forward to this time where I'm making the bracket. David Olfert took home the victory. Fellow Oregon man, I am so pumped. Let's go, David. Congratulations. I can't wait to see what you got to do tomorrow. Let's get that out of the way, including this ad right here. It is the racing bracket prediction time. Last year, I was very wrong. But I actually was correct on one of them, and I'm really proud of that.
Ryan is a sweat. I'm just saying it right now. Ryan's a sweat. No hate the son of a digger. No hate the Ryan. He's just super good. I just want to see him lose for once. Like, goodness gracious, man. So, with that, I'm saying Colvinar's gonna...
So we're gonna get right into it because first, we have the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior against the JCB Gigatron. Tristan got second. Bryce Kennedy, I think, got fourth. Honestly, I think after what happened in qualifying, I think they're about even. Tristan England is probably going to push his truck a little bit too hard because of how light his truck is. But so might Bryce Kennedy. And currently, I think he has the World Finals curse. Hey, editing 68 here. What I mean by the World Finals curse, I mean like drivers who do good for a little bit and then they just start sucking for a couple of years. So an example of that is Adam Anderson. He did very well for his first couple of years at World Finals, and then World Finals 10 through World Finals 12 he kind of sucked, and that was a World Finals curse. And then Ryan Anderson, he I think was the next one, because World Finals I would say 14 to World Finals 16, I think, or 17 actually. He kind of was getting screwed over by a lot of things and just could not win. So, and then I don't know who had it next, but that's what the World Finals curse is. That's what it means. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. I am going to personally choose the JCB Gigatron. I think he's going to come out on top. Alright, next up we have Dragon and Soldier Fortune. Cody Saucier was taking notes. He even insulted how a lot of drivers are taking that final turn in the red lane. Very silly. And going in too hot, aka not keeping their cool going in. Which is a little bit of a mean move on his part, but you know what? It might happen to him. I don't think it will happen, since Cody is very, very experienced, has been driving for a while. And then Kayla was all over the place both times in her qualifying run. Not as bad as the second time, but the first time was really bad. The second time, not as much, but still all over the place. I think Cody Saucier is going to easily take the win here, taking down Soldier Fortune. Alright, Velociraptor and the Lucas Oil Stabilizer. David Olfert was literally Mr. Consistency, and then Lindsay Reed doesn't really push the stabilizer for some reason. Probably because it's a little heavier than Scooby-Doo or something like that. I don't know, she doesn't really push the truck as much as I thought she would. And I think she is not going to do as well as David Olfert. So I think David Olfert is going into the next round. Alright, this one, Corey Rummel and Mossima Dalmatian. Corey Rummel, the man who can never win a final round, against Jamie Sullivan in the Mossima Dalmatian. Corey Rummel is pretty good in racing. He didn't do too bad in qualifying, but nor did Jamie Sullivan, although Jamie almost... no, she did go in the other lane. Corey did do a little bit better than Jamie Sullivan in qualifying, so I'm gonna have to say Corey Rummel is going to race Weston Anderson. Up next is Mr. Colvinard in the beautiful new SUV Black Pearl. If you guys haven't seen that yet, I'll put a picture up here right now. Against, I think, the brand new Jurassic Attack. Both of these trucks did pretty alright. Colvinard messed up in the first time. The second time, Jurassic Attack messed up. So, I think these two ran each other in qualifying as well, so they're racing each other again. They both ran around the similar time, when both of them ran pretty good times. But I think Colvinard, because here's the thing about the overboard guys. They push their trucks harder when it matters the most, unless you're the All-Star Challenger and Cole's truck just refused to stay together. But last year, Cole made it all the way to round 3 and then second in freestyle because he pushed his truck. Jamie Garner, World Finals 21. Honestly, they should have re-ran it against Weston Anderson because his light didn't go off, but he almost beat him. He just got penalized. So, and then his freestyle was off the hook. So I think it will be good old Colvinard. I love Dalton Widener, but I feel like him being a new guy in World Finals, I think the pressure's going to get to him and he's going to go down to Colvinard in the Black Pearl monster truck. Alright, next we got Jim Kohler in Avenger against Zach Garner in the Wild Side. Dude, Zach Garner looked pretty good. Jim Kohler, He almost lost control, but actually kept it pretty tame. Also awesome new bodies for both drivers, for Wildside and Avenger. Honestly, I love Avenger, but if we're taking this serious, I think it's going to be the Wildside. But Jim did not look terrible at all. So I'm okay with either outcome here. Zach Gardner in Wildside or Jim Kohler in Avenger. I think it's going to be Zach by just a little bit, taking down Jim Kohler in the Avenger. Next up, we got Armando Castro in the El Toro Loco up against Brianna Mahon Scooby-Doo. I'm already going to say this, Armando's probably going to win. Brianna did not look as aggressive as Armando did in qualifying. So yeah, I'm going to have to say Armando Castro. I also have nothing else to really say other than their qualifying because I didn't really watch the arenas at all whatsoever. And our last pair in round number 1 is the Thunder Roarers against Gravedigger Peak with Krista Anderson. Last year, I just did this.
Tom Mentz in the 20th anniversary Max D against Kristen Anderson, the Pink Gravedigger.
And then look what happened again with Kristen Anderson and Tom Mentz. Yeah, silly move. But Kristen Anderson did very well. Apparently, I mean, her and Armando were battling out until the very last event. So, but she's not very strong in the stadiums from what I've seen. So I think it's going to be Cole Vennard. I think it's going to be Colt Stevens and Thunder Roarers. But Kristen Anderson, if Colt messes up, she'll be right behind him. So, all right, moving on into round number dos. I almost said uno. We got Tyler Menega against the JCB Digatron. Tyler was smooth except for his second lap, but Tyler looked really good in the first run. And then the second one, he got a 5-second penalty because he went on the other lane, while Brianna Mahon almost kissed his butt. So, but if Tristan does not do that, if Tyler does not do that, Tristan England is going to take the win, obviously. But I think Tyler has gotten Tristan more this season because they were on the same tour. So I think Tyler's Gravedigger Purple is going to take out JCB Digatron in round number 2, decrowning the World Racing Champion. Up next, we got Blake Granger up against Cody Saucier. I've only seen one international tour event, and it was, I think, the most recent one. Blake dominated. He got first in racing. Well, he won racing, first in skills. I don't remember freestyle because I kind of just stopped watching it. But Cody, he's very consistent in racing. Very, very consistent. I don't know if Blake does, because Blake did a thing in qualifying where he like went into the turn and just like braked. If he can do that and line up perfectly with the ramp, I think he's got it. If he can just do that perfectly. You never know. This could be either way. I'm going to go with Cody Saucier in the Dragon. But also, I might not, because Mr. Blake Granger is probably going to want to push his truck harder than ever, because Tom Mentz is done, and he is the only Max D, and Tom Mentz is there, and he wants to represent the Max D name very well. So I'm going to say it is actually going to be Max D. Up next, we got Son of a Digger and Velociraptor. Velociraptor not as fast as Son of a Digger, but if Ryan Anderson messes up, Velociraptor will easily slip past him and take the win. I'm personally going to say Velociraptor is going to win, because I want Son of a Digger, like last year, to lose because he's won too much this season. So I'm going to say Velociraptor is going to take the win because he's corrected his mistake that he's done all season where he overthinks racing. So I think he's going to do very well. I think he's going to take down Ryan Anderson. He's already done it before, twice. All right, Corey Rummel and Weston Anderson, Megalodon Fire and Gravedigger Fire, aka Gravedigger Orange. This could go either way. Again, Weston Anderson looked really good, but so did Corey. Not as good, so I'm going to have to say Weston is going to take down Corey Rummel in the Megalodon Fire. Alright, next up we got Todd LeDuc and Cole Vennard. Todd looked really fast. Cole Vennard kind of struggled a little bit. So I am going to have to say Todd LeDuc is going to take the win over Cole Vennard. Cole didn't look as good, but he didn't look as good as Todd LeDuc in qualifying. So I think Todd is going to do a lot better. Alright, up next we got Adam Anderson in the Gravedigger up against Zach Garner in the Wildside. Adam's first pass did not look the greatest, but his second pass was so fast. And then Zach Garner, He's still fast, but not as quick as Adam. But again, if Adam messes up, Zach doesn't mess up, he'll be right there. So I'm going to say Zach Garner. I think he will I feel like Adam is going to go a tiny bit too hard and then overturn it, or like get on 2 wheels and then mess up, and then Zach's going to be right there to take the win. All right, up next we got Bakugan Dragonoid, Camden Murphy up against Armando Castronel Toro Loco. Camden was so freaking fast, dude. I'm putting him in automatically because Armando was not as quick as Camden at all. Camden was so fast. He is so determined to get a racing championship this year. He couldn't last year because his truck just had issues. So very, very sad. I think he's going to absolutely do very well this year. He looked really good in qualifying. So I think he'll do awesome. All right, next, Bari Musauer and Colt Stevens. Bari always in the top 8 nowadays. Very good driver. Colt Stevens, more of a freestyler, hence his world championship. I think it's going to be Bari. He is a very good racer. Kind of a sleeper in my opinion. No one really talks about him in racing. All right, up next, Tyler Mennigan, the Gravedigger Purple, up against Blake Ranger and Max D. Tyler, again, if Tyler doesn't mess up, he's going to easily take him out because he was the fastest qualifier and he has always kind of been. So yeah, I think he's going to take down Blake Ranger because Blake Ranger is going to go a little hard because it's the Gravedigger, it's Tyler Mennigan. And everyone seems to push their trucks a lot harder. Just ask John Gordon when he was racing Tyler Mennigan in the finals like all 5 times. So I think it's going to be Tyler Mennigan with the win, taking down Blake Ranger. This next round, Weston Anderson and David Olfert. I think David's going to. He's a lot smoother than Weston Anderson is. I think David's got this in the bag if he keeps his momentum from today to tomorrow. I think that's what's going to happen. All right, Todd LeDuc and Zach Garner. If Todd LeDuc can keep us cool, he's going to take down Zach Garner. Because, again, Zach is a new guy, so his truck's going to be probably a little weaker. But I don't think he's going to be as smooth and fast as Todd LeDuc. So I think it's going to be Todd LeDuc taking the win there over Wildside. Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid up against Bari Musauer and the Zombie. Bakugan Dragonoid all the flippin' way. All right, the semifinals, I think it will be Tyler Mennigan. I really want David Olfert to win, but I feel like Tyler Mennigan is going to absolutely destroy him. All right, the next semifinal pair, I think Camden Murphy is going to lose to the Megalodon. I think Todd is going to barely outdo Camden Murphy. But thankfully, it's April Fool's, so I'm going to say it's actually going to be Camden Murphy. I think Camden's going to keep this cool. Todd's going to get a tiny bit more excited. And Todd's not going to have as strong of a run as he probably wants. And Camden Murphy's going to keep this cool and just win. Take all the way home. Camden, I think, is going to take it home. All right. Tyler Mennigan in the Gravedigger Purple against Camden Murphy in the Bakugan Dragonoid. As long as Tyler does not screw up, I think he's got it in the bag. But he might, because it's the final round. But he's been in there so much, it probably won't matter. And then Camden Murphy, not been in the final round as much, and he's racing Tyler Mennigan. I think he's going to slightly push it too hard, mess up a tiny bit, the tiniest bubble in the world, and Tyler's going to take the tiniest bit of advantage and take the win. I think Tyler is going to take the win for racing.